Alright guys, I'm just about to start here. If anybody, Pep, Billy, any of you guys are watching, send me a message on Discord, let me know how the sound is. I can change it around now. I'm just going to ask you guys to bear with me during this because I'm using display capture, so you're going to probably see little bits, little glimpses of my OBS. Pay no attention to that. We're going to do the prize giveaway like I said, and I'm going to start with some Star Trek fleet commands. Like I say guys, just bear with me while I do the display capture. You're going to see a bit of OBS and it should be the game showing. Let me know if there's any problems with that. Okay, so I'm in there with Star Trek Fleet Command. If somebody can send me a wee message just to confirm that, I'm going to go back to the back soon screen just for a moment until I join the game and chat. So any of you guys want to join me in the game and chat, particularly yourself Billy or anybody else there that's on my server in particular, anybody wants to pop in here while we do the Star Trek Fleet Command bit, please feel free. Now, I haven't gone anywhere guys, I'm still here. I'm just going to bring up Discord and jump into the different chat. I want to thank Billy for doing a few tunes there. And just bear with me guys while I sort out who's going to come in to chat. So thanks Hugo, giving me that wee bit of feedback saying it's loud and clear. Very good. Now the different games that I'm going to pop into guys, I'm going to do Star Trek Fleet Command first. I'm going to go into a few minutes of Starborn Sovereign Space and take a look at that. But the different games have different sound settings on them, so give me constant feedback, let me know if anything doesn't sound right. So hopefully we'll get Billy and a few of the guys in. I had Missy and Psychosis in a recent video, but I messed up the sound. So we'll get a couple of guys with a new headset, so I'll get a couple of guys in over the course of the next number of videos and streams and whatever we're doing, and we'll get chatting with some of them. Hopefully Pep will join us for some mobile Royale and maybe Final Fantasy later, if she can get her headphones sorted out. Grim Graham is about, a few others have indicated that they might be interested in that. So for any of you guys that was in listening to the music, you'll probably need to pop out of that now very shortly and pop into the game and chat if you want to talk while I do this stream. And like I say, anybody on my server, if you want to come down to Earthak and Kul Ran in Klingon Space for the event, I'm going to do a little bit of killing there. I'm going to mess about generally. So if you guys want to come down and do a little bit of that, feel free also. So back into the game now guys. There we go. So a few helps straight away. Now we're looking at this. Event. Number of things going on with this event. I done a video a short time ago, the part 1. I've had a number of clips of this since. I've been trying to edit them together, but none of them was working out the way I want. So I might use some of this footage and some of this audio in the next video. I completed one solo event there earlier today. Got to the 90 million. It's roughly 10 or 11 rounds of kills for me, which is essentially 2 ships each. It's costing me something in the region of 100k tritanium, say, each round. So 10 of them is 1 million tritanium, give or take, on repair costs. Not to mention the dilithium. But about 1 million tritanium repair costs to get to that 90 million. And they have improved the rewards guys, which is a very welcome thing. These rewards were drastically lower. 500k there for the first tier of rewards isn't too bad. You'll get a few repairs done out of that, and it makes this event now possible to do. The part of this solo event that's very, very painful for me though is the speed ups, and I'd be calling on Scopely to add in speed ups, the opportunity to get speed ups whilst participating in events like this, because it'll just eat your speed ups alive if you have to go down there and essentially kamikaze 20 faction ships off the bosses. No small costs in repairs, which they've rectified now, but also no small cost in terms of speed ups. So that's something we'd like to see. You guys leave your thoughts and leave your feelings. Thanks for that, Hugo. I agree. The dilithium is a bit of an issue as well. However, if I had speed ups, I'd probably happily enough get the dilithium elsewhere. It would be like the titanium is a very good start, but the speed ups is the issue now. So let's claim this. I have a couple of ships down there. I'm going to just show you guys what I'm doing. So what I've done is I've switched around the crews on these ships. I'm looking to see how they're doing. Go back into this solo event for a second. 7,150,000, is that right? 157,000. So I think I was getting 8 million when I had the officer setups the other way around. So essentially I've got the Enterprise crew on the Saladin and I've got the Gorkin crew on the Centurion. I had it the other way around. I think I was getting more that way. But what I was doing was hitting with the Centurion first. The last time I hit with the Centurion first and then followed with the Saladin. Just over 7 million for that. So we're going to try it with the Saladin first, with this crew setup, and the Centurion afterwards. So I see Psychosis online there, so Sai might do a bit of softening up here as well. He's killing a few. But while he's doing that, I'm going to go and hit this with the Saladin first. And follow it with the Centurion. To see if... Now, something's happened there. It's frozen a little bit. There we go. See if we can get over 7 million for doing that in that order. Okay, so both ships destroyed. And that's given me something like 6 million, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely the officer crew doing it the other way around, with the critical hit crew on the Saladin and the Enterprise crew in the Centurion, was definitely preferable, I think, in terms of rewards on points. So you can see there, 50k to repair that, 7.5 dilithium. So what I'm doing here, guys, makes much more sense for me to speed that up rather than using the speed ups. Makes much more sense to spend 30 latinum on a 30-minute speed up there. But I'm getting pretty low on these other speed ups. There we go, there's one done. And we'll do the Saladin next. So that's actually there, 20k on that Saladin. Roughly speaking, that's about 70k. So 700, 800,000, say at 11 kills is what I'm looking at in terms of titanium cost on that. So let's get them ships back down. So I have my cup of tea here, guys. I have my new headset with my new mic, so please bear with me if it's a bit noisy when I'm trying to drink my tea. I'm not going to be nipping in and out of OBS to mute mics and stuff if I don't have to. I'll keep this very straightforward. A couple of chests here open, let's do that. And a couple of officers to get as well. So, like I mentioned in the chat, guys, I want to do a mystery prize giveaway. A little hint on that is that what we've chosen, there's only one in existence, and I possess it. So we're going to replicate that item, and Pep is going to choose the winner from the Discord DJ set. There was a couple of people in earlier with herself and Billy and that, so afterwards, if you're free, join us again on Discord for a few tunes before we wrap up entirely, and Pep will pick a winner. And I might get her to pick the winner from the stream as well, if you guys pop in and tell us all why Billy is such a good DJ. And I let Pep decide who the winner is in terms of the reasons why Billy is such a good DJ. So if Pep could keep an eye on that, and we'll hopefully have 2 winners before the end of the night. So Hugo's asking me, did I ever try to use Kirk and Spock and Chen at rank 4 or even better? Rank 5. So I haven't tried Chen with the Kirk and Spock combo, and presume you mean the Kirk and Spock, the Enterprise Kirk and Spock, not the cadets. So that's something I can try here in a couple of moments. Obviously not right away. I'm going to do about 40 minutes of Star Trek Fleet Command, guys. I'm not going to hang around too long in it. A couple of other games I want to try out. We'll do a little bit of this. Now, the PvP event is one I want to talk about a little bit as well. It's been really tough to do this. There were great plans on our server for helping people get faction ships. Faction ships are not the rewards anymore out of this. They were in active war. They're not here. So those plans went awry, and we're still looking at some players helping each other get PvP points, but there doesn't seem to be too many altruistic players out there that are letting their faction ships get destroyed by other players. I've offered up my Saladin a few times into Earthak. It looks like it's these level 26 systems that you can only do that in. And Psychosis has been really good at letting people finish off his ship if that's what they want. But he's also been really good at softening up these bosses, doing his daily rounds, and letting us guys finish off these separatist bosses. There's been a few guys in our alliance, and maybe outside of the alliance even, that have finished off bosses a couple of times while Psychosis has been out clearing that area up. And that would of course help with this Fractured Empire leaderboard. I'm in 46th place there. I don't know how that's the case. I don't have that many points. I have only 46 points. And Psychosis is top again. I think this is the 4th time this event is run, and I think Psychosis has won it every time. So fair play to him. If he wants to come into chat, we can maybe chat to him about how he's won that 4 times on the trot. Because Psychosis, even though he's a very powerful player, he's not the highest level player on this server. I'm not seeing him down here. I see Kevin down there. He's gone. Oh, there he is. He's in a Burrell. And there's Sai. Now, has he started or is he finishing? He's only starting. But we might have a few kills from Kevin. Kevin, perhaps? Just while that Saladin's arriving, guys, I'm going to take a very quick break from this. Okay, so Saladin and Centurion. Try and find Sai again. There he is. That's down to nearly 50% on the hull of that Burrell. So he's a few more kills to do yet. And I'll just demonstrate how Sai has been helping other players get points on this Fractured Empire leaderboard. Like we were saying, the PvP is the tougher one. It just hasn't worked out on our server. I don't know on other servers if you've worked out a system whereby that PvP can be worthwhile. It just hasn't taken off for us here on the Founder server. So I'll get this Centurion up close. Myself and Say tried this the other night, and like a fool, I unmuted the wrong audio channel. So hopefully, if he comes in before we finish here, I'll do it properly.
Good morning, Amorgin.
That sounds awful like Billy to me.
Sure is.
Good man, how you keeping, Billy?
I'm a bit tired this morning.
I'd say so. You were up early. And a big thank you to Billy for getting up early and setting his alarm so we could queue up a few tunes and do a DJ set before this celebration live stream. So thank you, Billy.
Yeah, no problem.
So are you coming down to Earthak? Or are you busy in game at the minute, or what is the story?
Well, PvP isn't in Earthak today. It's in Constina or something.
It's in Romulan space then?
Yeah, they
okay.
changed the, every second day they change the location.
Okay, good information. And what about the boss kills for the leaderboard event? Have you been doing any of that?
I'm trying to. It's just, it takes me 5 action ships to just kill one.
Right.
One boss, so it's expensive.
Yeah. So what have you been doing the level 22s?
You know, I've been killing probably 300 or 400 a day.
Right.
But I just did the calculation, and to get the 90 mil, just with the 22s, I have to kill 2,660 something level 22s in a day.
Right, yeah, that's a bit crazy.
That's unrealistic, yeah.
And have you seen anybody making the PvP work on this server yet? I haven't heard much about it. People seem to be quiet enough.
Yeah, so what I do when I do knock off a couple is I team up with a couple of buddies, and we just take turns of, sacrificing ships, and then let, one of us take turns in finishing it off.
Okay.
So that's all we do. Oh, sorry, PvP. Sorry, that was bosses. PvP, yeah, I hook up with Econ or Dark Aston, and we just take turns killing each other.
Okay, so yeah, so I'm looking at the rewards here. You're talking 25k for the bottom tier reward. That's 5 kills. What's that costing you to pay back the 5 kills, say, to Econ or whoever? Like, that's 5 ships destroyed. That's at least 50k repair costs. That's even with the new repair costs. That's at least 50, 60k, isn't it?
It is. Yes, so basically, with the tries, I've got plenty of tries at the moment, so I haven't been taking much notice, but my biggest problem is the dilithium at the moment. I went from 1 million down to 860k just by hitting Econ last night.
That was you hitting him?
Both of us, me repairing ships.
Right, okay.
So he gets the 20 points, I get the 20 points.
Right. And it cost you about 200k, 250k then to get the 20 kills?
Well, 140k, yeah.
140k.
100K.
Okay, what ships are you using?
I'm using the Scent, the Saladin, and the Waters. So my Scent is a 406k Scent.
Similar to my own, yeah.
Yep. The Saladin is a 358, depending on crew, and the Vortis is, what's that? 311, 312, around there.
Okay, so how are you making that work? Are you putting out a ship with no crew or a crappy crew and letting him take it out?
Basically, yeah. Well, because he's got a big ship, when it's his turn to take, so usually I start off, I kill him 20 times, okay, and then he kills me 20 times. So when he's killing me, I tell him to put out, his big ship so he doesn't lose. I think he lost his ship once or twice last night.
Okay.
He was attacking me, so I put in the lowest crew. I just put in a commander.
And what's your most powerful ship?
Well, the Centurion.
Centurion, right? Okay, so your strongest ship isn't a million miles ahead of mine. It's similar enough to mine. So
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, right. But Econ would have he would have Intrepid and he would have higher ships, doesn't he? So arguably it's easier for him to take out your ships than it is for you to take out his.
Exactly. So yeah, with the try to repair the Centurion is about 40k. 40k to repair it, I think.
Okay.
I'll just pull it off and find out. Yeah. This one. Wrong one. I've got to send it to the actual galaxy.
Are you in Constina? You're in Romulan space then for that, yeah?
Yeah, I've got to send my Centurion there, but I've got my my Vortis and Saladin there.
Now, there's a fair amount of repair speed-ups you're using then for that PvP as well.
Oh, for sure. I use plenty of platinum.
Yeah.
So usually it's for the Saladin, the Centurion. It's usually about 3 hours and 26-minute repair time. So I just use 30 lat to do the 3 hours.
Yeah, same as myself, yeah.
And then I just, knock off, with 15-minute ones or 5-minute ones or, yeah. Okay, so for the Vortis, it's 37k to repair the Bortus, and 2 hours and 2.5 hours repair time. And that up.
Now, where are you parking your base then when you do that?
Oh, because I was set up for yesterday's PvP, I was parked in, just near Klingon space. I was in Zetapolis 19.
Okay.
And then with this one here. See, I've got a miner out, so I can't really move my base at the moment. Yeah, so it looks like I'm about 3.5 minutes travel time from where I am to get to.
So you're throwing that out 20 times for him. So that's
20 ships, yeah.
20 ships, so that's 10, and you're doing it, you're sending out 3 ships at a time?
Yep.
So say that's 7 rounds of repairs, give or take,
Yep.
at 3 minutes, 4 minutes travel time, add in another minute or 2 for all the repairing and stuff, you're talking minimum 5 minutes, 7 times, so you're talking a good 40 minutes to get them 20 points just for one of yous, and then another 40 minutes for the other guy to get them, so you're talking that's good hour and a half to complete that PvP event.
Generally we've been doing it quicker than that.
Yeah?
Just thinking about actually 40, 50 minutes. Oh, it depends which way we do it really. I lose time easily, so when I'm in the zone. So, for example, to repair my Saladin, it's 51k try to repair it. That's Saladin.
That's a Saladin. 50k for my Centurion. It's only like 19k for the Saladin, but it's a tier 1 Saladin at the minute, so.
Oh, okay, yep.
My Psychosis is down here like a madman, as always, clearing out the bosses. I see Char was down a short time ago there too. Oh, sorry, that's Morrigan's after turning out, actually. Sorry, I seen the level 34 and I thought it was Say. So Morrigan's down here as well. So a shout out to all them guys. We're capturing them during this stream, down doing this event. There's Say now and there's Burrell as well.
Yeah, I get really upset when I see these guys knock off, 9, 10 bosses just with one ship.
Yeah, when I was
it cost me five ships.
Somebody else join us there in chat?
Sorry, what?
Is that somebody else joining us in chat?
Hey, it's Toller.
Hi Toller, how you doing?
I'm good.
Say hello to Billy.
Hey, Billy.
Hello.
Nice to talk to you guys. Although I can't see the same thing you're seeing around different servers.
Yeah, true. Yes.
Well, you can be watching the stream and seeing this stuff going on though.
Yeah, I can.
What are you streaming on?
On YouTube.
Oh, sorry. I was expecting on the Apple one. Let's go to YouTube.
Yeah, Pep told me to pop over, so I said okay.
Yeah, so for any of you guys that don't know, both Billy and Toller are moderators on my Discord. They have the ability to shut people up and kick them out.
Oh, really? I do?
You didn't know that? You know now?
Yep, okay. Well, I've got power now. Alright.
So we're asking people to make a comment in the live chat in the stream to say why Billy's such a good DJ, and Pep is going to pick the best reason, and we're going to give a mystery prize to somebody.
Hold on, I've just got to...
So before I finish up, Billy, I might trade a few blows with you if that's all right.
So, do you want to go to...
I might come up. I might come up to Constina in a few minutes when I get a few more points on this solo event.
Yep.
So I'm just shy of the first set of rewards, so that'll give me 500,000 titanium. So that should see me all right to do a little bit of PvP, and I'll finish up with Star Trek Fleet Command then after we do that.
Definitely.
So I'm 6 minutes out with the Saladin down to Earthak. So it'd be about 10 minutes. Maybe 15 given travel time to Constina.
Yep, no worries.
No worries.
It's, it's funny, the other night, not yesterday, or 2 nights ago, when I met up with Dark Aston to do some PvP hits in, what was it, Arthalon?
Okay, yeah.
And then we're hitting each other, and I'm not getting any points. What's going on? So we went to the event, and yeah, the little red writing, little terms and conditions that says, oh, by the way, it's in a different system today. Frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, why do something like that? Anyway.
So yeah, there's been some guys giving out there, alright, about not getting the PvP points. It must be that.
Yeah, it definitely is.
So a shout out to Macca. Macca's in the live chat. How you doing, Macca? We're asking people to be in with a chance of winning the mystery prize to tell us why Billy's such a good DJ. So Amorgin's heading down in his Burrell at the moment. He has an Intrepid out here now as well. The Burrell's at nearly 1 million. The Intrepid's 570. Is Bones Mark one of your guys?
Yeah, he sure is. Yep.
Yeah, he's down. Yeah, he's down at the bottom of the system. So a shout out to him. Oh, it's Bones ML. I thought it was Bones MK. Was he Bones MK one time?
Oh, hold on, I'll check.
Is he Char's out in his Enterprise? Say is back with his Burrell. Tomb Raider and Sudden Impact both down there in Centurions.
Well, I hope they're just going after bosses and not doing the PvP. Just saying. I'll be upset.
Yep. They're not touching each other at the minute, and they're in the same alliance, so they can't be hitting each other just yet, unless one of them's dropping out.
Yeah, when you drop out and drop back in, you gotta be careful. Because if you don't get points after coming back in, you don't qualify for the event. Caught me out a couple of times actually.
So I'm just after realising, Billy, I made another boo-boo, the same boo-boo that I made the other night, that I didn't have the audio unmuted, so I'm gonna introduce you again for the purposes of editing this video later on. So a big welcome to Billy from the founder server, the DJ on my Discord.
Thanks for that, Amorgin.
So So we're down here doing this solo leaderboard and Fractured Empire solo event. The solo leaderboard's happening largely by killing level 22s in the level 22 systems, and then if you're lucky enough to kill one of these bosses, so guys like Psychosis and Amorgin down here will be killing these level 26s. Char's over here in his Enterprise as well. They're killing these level 26 bosses, and guys like me can come in afterwards when they finally get destroyed and a boss has been lowered down enough that I might be able to take him out with my Centurion. That'll give me 500 points. Otherwise I'm grinding in a level 22 system to try and get onto this leaderboard. It's pretty tough. Psychosis has won it the last number of times. And we were discussing this PvP, which is moving around. You were saying, Billy, it's moving around the systems every 2 days.
It seems to be 2 days, yes.
So people who aren't getting their points...
Correct.
Yeah, people who aren't getting their points from doing PvP in, say, Earthak or Pirellion, that means it's in Constina that day?
Yeah, you just have to check the event.
Yeah.
And it tells you in the event, in the really little right in the fine... Yes.
Yeah, a little bit...
You should check every day.
Yeah, a little bit more of an announcement on that would have been useful.
Well, when I found out, when I was playing with Dark there, I had a few choice words to say, put it that way.
Not you. Not you.
And so once again, for the purposes of the editing, I want to welcome Toller into the chat. Toller and Billy are both moderators in the Discord.
Thank you, Morgan, for the...
You're very welcome.
discussion.
So have you been doing any of this event, Toller, on your server?
I have hardly been playing, to be honest. I started driving for Amazon, and I don't have any time at all. So I can't play and drive at the same time.
That's why we all need Teslas.
Yes.
One of them crashed into a wall or something the other day on automatic.
Really?
Yeah, a Tesla was on automatic and had a crash or caused some trouble.
Yeah, there's a number of stories like that, alright, but I wonder, is it, on average, is it more than a manual car? I'd imagine there's more manual cars on average going in the walls on a daily basis.
Exactly, true. Well, how many Teslas are there out there? Probably 10, 20,000 these days, is it? I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe more.
More. They're not really big in Australia at the moment because we don't really have too many charging. But you can charge it at home, I suppose.
It's definitely going to be handy some point in the future. We can all be sitting behind the wheel and playing Star Trek Fleet Command.
Wouldn't that be wonderful?
Especially for your job if you're driving.
Right. If I could do a drone, I don't even think I could do it if I was flying a drone. You have to deliver 200 packages a day. So, kind of a challenge.
And what do you do? Are you doing a region, or do you have to do long distance, or?
You go out, probably 30, 45 minutes, and then drop on your way back in.
Okay, so it's local enough.
Yeah, about 200 miles a day. Not too bad. As long as you have enough petrol to get back in. The other day, I realized I still had 7 more stops, and I only had 39 miles worth of gas, and it was 36 miles back to the station.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's lovely. So.
Is there many diesel cars over in States where you are?
Yeah, we have a fair amount. I have a diesel truck. But,
Okay.
the fleet is all petrol. So yeah, it's primarily petrol versus diesel.
Yeah. And so where I am, it's pretty rural, so most people need to have their own cars.
Oh yeah.
And because of that, public transport's not great, you see. So because of that, there most people opt for diesel.
Oh really? It's cheaper.
Well, the prices fluctuate, I suppose. Like because I live near the border between north and south, you know. So prices north and south of the border can vary. So people can just nip across to wherever they get their cheaper fuel, you know.
Yeah.
It would be a regular thing, like. There was a time when people would nip across to do their weekly shopping as well because of prices and stuff. Like, it's the handy thing about living on a border, I guess, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I live in Missouri, and the price of fuel is quite a bit cheaper in Missouri versus Illinois. So everybody jumps across the river to Missouri to buy theirs.
Handy.
Yep.
The Aussies don't have anything as efficient as that. Borders that you can cross and get cheaper fuel. Anything like that down under?
No, on the border between Queensland and New South Wales is a town called Tweed Heads.
Yep.
And basically one side's New South Wales, one side's Queensland, obviously. So they just go back and forth, whoever's got the cheapest petrol.
So Queensland and New South Wales set their own fuel prices then, yeah?
Yes. Or, well, the oil companies do.
Right.
But, yeah, it's two different tax systems. Well, yeah.
Yeah, for us too in the States, it depends on, what taxes for the highways that the states set. So Missouri has really wonderful highways for the most part. But Illinois, I guess they don't apply the tax to the streets, and they're a mess. So.
That sounds like the roads between New South Wales and the ACT, which is Canberra. It's a territory. I like Washington. It's the capital of Australia. But as soon as you cross the border, you go from a crap road to a fantastic road, you know? Because all the politicians like their roads to be very nice in Canberra. Anyway.
Yeah, have you ever noticed when you leave one location, it's a crappy road, and you enter the new one and it's a beautiful road? Kind of like marketing, you know?
So you're rural, are you, Amorgin?
Quite rural, yeah.
Yeah. So what, are you in a small town or out of town?
Small town, yeah, small town. About 12,000 people in this wider area, which is normal enough for a small town here, you know. But there's actually, I heard an interesting stat that anywhere outside of Dublin, even the other cities in Ireland, like they're all regarded as rural by the European definition.
Oh, okay.
So.
What's the primary crop in the farms?
The crop, well, a lot of dairy farms and a lot of beef farms around here. Like, you wouldn't get too many people. Like, it happens, but I suppose those kind of farms aren't. You don't see big sprawling farms of people growing wheat, and it happens. Like, but it's not the main form of farming in this country. Cattle farming is the main form of farming here, you would say. I'm no expert on that though, because I'm not a farmer.
Yeah, well, my town goes from about 40,000 or 35 to 40,000 people, but around when the races are on, car races, goes to about 100,000 people or so, maybe 200 on some days. Yeah. Yeah, so we have a place called Mount Panorama, which is huge in the car racing scene. Kind of like Daytona for America, for Australia, you know. Massive. All the people in their V8s and, you know, super sports cars come down, and that. It's really cool.
Are you a bit of a petrol head, Billy?
No, I've been to the races many times, but I don't really care anymore. You know, it's just yeah. But it's a very hilly track. If you ever look up Mount Panorama in Bath, you just yeah, it's a very unique track. Like the elevation of it goes up about 400 meters or 400 meters from the bottom of the hill to the top of the hill, and it's about 6 kilometers, 6.1 kilometers around. So when people come to my town, like the tourists and that, first thing they do is drive around the track.
I suppose
We had an
that's what
we had an
to do.
F1. Well, it is, you know, that's what it's known for. You know, if you're going to go to my town, you got to go around the track.
Sorry, I'm
Do you
just
know how-
I'm just looking at a Centurion in Constina. I'm wondering, can I kill it?
Yeah. You can try.
Do you mind? I'll send these couple of
No,
ships,
go for it.
and I'll send a Bortus as well. You can kill something in return if you want. I'll send you I'll send you a Bortus with a crappy crew. Yeah.
Yep, okay. I'll take the points.
Now, I don't remember. Can you remove the crew entirely and send an empty ship?
No, I think you need the commander. You need the captain.
Just one will do. Yeah.
Yeah, just one will do.
Right. So
Why
I'm
would you
gonna
do that?
to give each other PvP points, Toller.
To lower the strength of the ships, or one of the ships. So if he's going to lower his crew strength, you know, it's easier, less damage to my ship when I sink him.
So I'm gonna put that DJ Aoki guy at the helm. He's pretty weak, and you can destroy him inside a Bortus if that suits you.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now the Bortus is 296k. Is that all right?
Oh, yeah, definitely, yep.
Okay, and I'll finish up on Star Trek Fleet Command. We can do this later or tomorrow or something anyway if you want to try it again. But this is for the purposes of the video, just to demonstrate the PvP element of this. Right, so Hugo's after seeing chat there and I missed it, and so I'm sorry, Hugo, about swapping Chen for Uhura. The ships are en route, so we can't do that right now. Apologies for that. But I can go through some of the battle logs.
Just looking at your chat up there. And my old mate White Wolf, he's a Borg. He got assimilated. Not happy about that. Anyway, I'm sure he'll be back to swords soon.
Where did you see that?
On the chat screen. On the in-game chat.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Morgan, are you and Billy in the same alliance?
We were for a little while, but we're in alliances. I suppose have been a very big rivalry over the years, but we're quite friendly now.
Well,
I don't.
My alliance sword, form as brothers in arms kind of thing. Yeah, very close.
This game is wonderful for making friends around the world, isn't it?
It's been really, really good in terms of what I've seen now on Twitter and different places with people doing those little things in the system where they get all their ships together like we done for Rommel. There's a lot of people does that kind of stuff. Like myself and Billy, we were talking a number of times just about the supports that people are giving each other just for tough times in their lives and different things going on. It's really great, like. But just for Hugo there, I'm flying through some of these logs.
Oh, there you are.
Is that my ships arriving into the system, Billy?
Yeah, the Centurion just turned up.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna put my Klingon on your starboard bow, starboard bow, starboard bow. There's a Klingon on your starboard bow, starboard bow. Oh, maybe if I actually put on the starboard bow, that might help me. There we go.
Okay.
Lower your shields. I have you surrounded.
So wait till my Bortus is a minute out. So what am I taking out belonging to you?
Probably the Bortus.
Okay.
That's the cheapest one to repair. Yep.
So you have Kirk on your Centurion.
Yeah, I'm just playing around with a few different things with that at the moment. So different crew combos and etc.
Arix, Kumak, and Gonzalez. Arix is the captain.
Yep.
And that's me scanning from my Bortus. Okay, so I'm gonna hit. Let me see. I'll hit your Bortus with this Saladin. See what happens.
Okay.
You ready?
Go. Yep.
Okay. Saladin barely survived that.
Ah.
So you had Nero, Vela, and Livis.
Yes.
I had your typical Gorkin setup with Harrison and Kerla. Okay, so that Bortus is there now, Billy. You want to take it out?
Yep, sure thing. Let me just...
Is this a tit for tat? Is that what we're doing?
Kinda like that, yeah, but we've 3 ships, so I'm not sure what we're going to do with the last one.
There we go.
And we've a similar enough crew setup, but he has Vimet, and I have Ahura. So we might will we go head to head with the Centurion? They're very, very similar. Yours is sitting at 391, mine's sitting at 392. You have Vela, I have Ahura. Will we go head to
interesting.
We go head to head with the Cent, see what happens?
Yes, definitely.
Right, let's go for it. I won that one.
You did too.
And take a look at these battle logs for a second.
Oh.
Close.
I was saying your one was a 399 actually.
Is that what it's saying on your log?
Yeah, it says 399.
Let me look at mine. It says 399 on my log as well, yeah. It said 392 when I was looking at it a minute ago.
Hmm.
So just a wee reminder before I move, sorry Billy, before I move from Star Trek Fleet Command, a wee reminder, anybody wants to be in with a chance of winning the mystery prize needs to tell us in the stream chat why Billy's such a good DJ, and Pep will pick a winner at the end of the stream.
Well, I like the one that says, you know, I should have a, I'm such a good DJ, I should be, have my own Las Vegas show.
Probably. And we shout out to Sync Gaming there. Sync is after popping into the chat. Say hello. It's good to have you back, buddy.
Oh, someone said good DJ but lousy singer. Alright, someone on our server then. Peter McCarthy.
Yeah, that's that's Macca.
Ah, it's Macca.
Yeah.
I'll be hunting you down, Macca.
Macca Oz.
Yeah, well, consider yourself kicked, Macca Oz. He's a sword boy.
I like that one, that you have the perfect face for radio. Thanks for that, Andrew. It's funny because it's true.
Poor Billy.
Well, I was talking to Sai the other day, and when he popped on Discord, he had his video screen going, so I got to see Sai, and he really does have a face for radio.
Oh, poor Missy.
He quickly turned it off. That was a good night. Hooked up with Fartasia and Sai for a little bit, have a bit of a chin wag. It was good.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can do a little bit more of this in the game and get the guys in, and while we play a little bit, and I can do a few videos like this, even if it's not a live stream, like we can do that, and I can record a little bit and edit a little bit if people are up for it.
To be sure, to be sure.
Up your baye. Okay guys, I'm going to move to another game, so I'm just going to put up my transition screen for a moment. I'm going to stay with you.
Okay.
You shut down BlueStacks. So thanks for doing that with me, Billy. That's giving me a little bit of footage now. I can mess around with that before the end of this event.
No, I'm just going to be AFK for a minute.
No problem. Tola, are you any good at singing?
Oh, I used to be a nun, so they teach me about my nun voice. So, no.
So, if I nip away for a moment while this other game is loading up, will you sing people a song?
No. I don't think they would want to listen to that.
You'd be surprised what people on the internet want to listen to. I certainly
There are
am.
all kinds of deviants out there, aren't there?
Okay, so this is going to take a little minute to load up. I'll be back in a wee second.
Pep, if you're listening, your pepper is almost ready for hair.
Sorry, what?
Well, Pep, she likes Pepper Potts from Iron Man. So
Oh, okay.
I'm sculpting one for her. You know, in the new movie Endgame.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either, but she is her hero name is Rescue, and
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm sculpting a rescue for Pep, and
You're
she's almost ready.
sculpting one.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Is that out of clay or what are you
yeah,
making it out of?
yeah, clay, and you make a wire armature, and then you do it out of clay.
Okay.
So she's in her. It's like the female version of an Iron Man suit, and
Yep.
so I couldn't do her hair until like the last thing. So the next things I have to do are she's holding a helmet because she rescues Iron Man. Don't want to do a spoiler, but I just did.
Okay.
And then she'll be ready for her hair, and she'll be ready to go to Ireland after that.
Okay. So how tall is this figurine?
She
6 inches
is
or something?
about 12 inches, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I have a Captain America. I don't know how tall he is. I think he's a little over that. So I used him as like a gauge, and
Okay. Yep.
so he's a little bit higher than her. So
Okay, so I'm back with you guys.
Yep. Okay.
And I've loaded up another game. Are you guys watching the stream while you chat?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so if you have any questions on this game, feel free to shout. I'm just going to run through what's essentially my dailies or my quests and stuff and set my dailies. So, to anybody who's just tuned in, I'm joined by Billy and Toller, who are moderators on my Discord channel, and we're taking a look at Starborn Sovereign Space. I've heard some chat that this game is coming near to the end of its season. This game is seasonal, so after like something like 3 months, it resets. And whoever is taking over the galaxy wins. So it's been very quiet in the alliance that I'm in. I could join another alliance, I guess. I've just been slowly building, trying to stay quiet, trying to stay out of the way, and I've built up a couple of bases, so it's handy enough. I've done a couple of other videos on this, so I go to base 1 just by hitting number 1 on my keyboard, and that's my strongest base. It's level 4, and I've expanded through space here with a couple of other bases. I have a sneaky little base sitting over on the corner of my sector, just in case these ones get wiped out, because I'm being a bit cautious. I don't know how aggressive people are in this game or any of that kind of stuff. So before I set the dailies on those bases, I'm going to go into the store. Every day I get to pick up daily rewards. Cards, big part of the game. I've been getting to grips with it. These caches are nice. You pick these up. So there's always something to collect, but it's quite slow moving in terms of actual action.
how long have you been?
When you were showing the map, the ones that were highlighted, were those yours?
Yeah, so I can change the map view up in the top here. Exploration. Resources. And you can see there the blue, that's me and my alliance. And I can zoom out. You can see this is our sector of space here. All the blue is me, all the red are our enemy, I believe, and the grey are neutral in terms of our alliance. You can see my little base down there. I set it at the edge of the sector, but if I zoom right out, you can see how big this actually is. Lots of sectors. And if I get lost, hit number 1 on the keyboard, take me right back to my base. We can look at it this way.
Oh, that's massive.
And this is just one server. This game is still in its testing phase. Guys are quite cool. It's one of these games where I think it's a small development company. I haven't researched them too much, but it's a small enough development company. I'm on their Discord. I was chatting to some of the guys and they seem cool enough. And like I say, it's slow enough moving. But I just log in and collect what I can collect. Set events to run, like this. 12 hours. Set the event to run, there'll be a reward for that when it's completed. I'm going to my messages, it's flashing up here. You see there's combat reports. That's an attack I done on a neighbouring base that I think has gone inactive.
So you just set it for a future time and then it does it?
I set it to run and there'll be a travel time involved. So it could be anything from 10 minutes to an hour or two. Like I haven't gone to the further reaches of that. It could be hours upon hours on end to get to the other end of that map. So that's all the battle reports. So here's what I do generally when I log in. I haven't been on the receiving end of too much aggression. My little base down the end here, number 4 I think it is. This little base was attacked by somebody. This is a rank 1 station. I think it was like a rank 3 player attacked that wee station. Probably thought I was a noob with one little station there and thought it'd be smart to attack me. Or that I was inactive and I was fair game. So I found that player. I'm not sure, they were around here somewhere. I found that player. You can see if I zoom out a little bit, I'm on over here. So I got my force together and I went over and I attacked his base and I haven't heard from him since, so that's good news. He might end up watching this stream and think, oh really?
That tosser? Yep.
So I've got a couple of fleets down the bottom here. A variety of different styles of ships. So these ones I can sabotage with these ones. So I have 2 fleets of sabotage ships. And there are NPC marauder bases that I can hit, like this one. We'll always have a little bit of resources, but it's good for practicing things like sabotage. But I've discovered 1 or 2 relatively inactive bases nearby. I can scout them. You can see I've already hit that guy. So he's got 8,000 of each resource there, so I'm going to sabotage him first. And I'm going to send an industrial fleet, which are like miners, and combat fleets. And we're going to raid them. You can see here when I hit send raid, I think that's something like 2 hours and 58 minutes before that fleet gets there. So no sense in me sitting watching the clock on that. So what I'll do is I'll go to each base.
Do you have repair times too for this?
No, your fleet will get destroyed, or units will get destroyed in that fleet.
And then that's it?
And then that's it, you build more, yep.
Start over.
And the trick, of course, is not to get destroyed, you know.
And there's no shield or anything like that?
Nothing like that. What you can do is you can set and build up defences. So I have a fortress here, and that fortress will defend its neighbouring squares or hexagons. So I've also got a missile battery, which the advice I got early on in this game was put your missile battery beside your fortress and your fortress beside your base and so on, and it'll protect those neighbouring hexagons. And having the missile battery and the fortress combined makes it tougher to take out the missile batteries. Keeps them going for longer, adding more defensive capability if you get attacked. So I followed that advice, but I haven't been attacked that much.
Okay, is this a pay-to-win game, or?
There's an element of that in it, Billy. You know, in the sense that you can go and buy things. I'll show you here. Special offers, for example. So there are packs you can go and buy that will give you advantages in a variety of different ways. The criticism I would have heard of that from some would have been that why would I go and play a seasonal game and pay money for packs that after 3 months are lost when the season ends and you start again. Valid enough criticism, I would say, but I believe there's a part to it. Cards is a big part of the game. You can set cards of all different kinds to give all kinds of boosts. I believe you retain your cards as you progress through the game.
Retain the cards, that's fine. Yeah.
You know, or at least that's my understanding of it. This is my first time trying it, obviously, so I'm still learning. But this is essentially what I'll do every day. Log in and try to complete these, set an event to run, raid a neighbouring station somewhere. There's DJ Logic. It's been around as a neighbour for a while. A level 3 base, so quite a nice base to raid, and I think he's gone inactive because I haven't got a response from him when I've raided him before, so
So you have different ships?
different types of ships which you put into different types of fleets. So we'll raid this guy.
If this is like what things are to come in real life.
Yeah. So I'm hearing something as well from some of the forums of this game that what they're gonna be doing is closing down the ability at some point. I think it's happening soon, if it hasn't happened already. Closing down the ability to move alliances after a period of time, so that you're kind of stuck when it's coming towards the end of the season, or say 3/4, 2/3 the way through the season. It seems as though they close off jumping and changing alliances, so you're stuck with whoever you're with, which is one of the things that's making me wonder, should I be looking to leave the alliance that I'm in, because they don't seem to be very active. They have a Discord. I've been chatting to some of the guys, but it hasn't been a hive of activity.
It makes you think that you might want to jump because you might be missing out.
Basically. Yep. But I'm happy enough here.
Oh, looks like MBQ Fox has joined us. Hello, Foxy.
Hello,
In
Fox.
the gaming chat. He does a bit of DJing with me as well.
Good stuff.
What should I call you? Captain Picard Kirk Picard. Anyway.
Now, Morgan, Sherry Miller was wanting to know what the name of this game is.
So this game is Starborn Sovereign Space, and I've just logged in to do some of my dailies. So the last bit I have to do is in the buildings, build a bit of some of the buildings. My main base here, quite strong compared to the others. So I'll do this life support unit because that gives me a thing called labour, which you need labour to do anything in the game. So these are housing units for wee guys to run your base essentially. And then you've got your different mining facilities and your refining facilities that you upgrade. And all the wee perks of the game. I haven't got down to the tier 4 yet, I'm on tier 3. And if you look up here, I'm level 44, so every time I hit 10 levels, I can build another station. So I'll get a 6th station when I hit level 50. And here's the shipbuilding. So I can build whatever number of those that I want, of the different types, and then add them into the fleets that I've created. And I'm limited as to the number of fleets I can make. Until, of course, I upgrade.
But you can have any number of ships within a fleet.
So far, there hasn't been a limit except for the labour and the resources to build them.
Gotcha. So what kind of resources?
Yeah, presumably you can just keep building them, you know.
Yep.
And you can see here that this is my fleet, but if I go into my hangar, those are the ships that I have in reserve that I can add to those fleets now if I want. So these have all been built and ready for use. They just won't be part of my active army, we'll say, if I get attacked.
What kind of resources do you have to build?
Gas, crystal, and metal.
That sounds familiar.
Sounds a bit familiar. And of course then labour is the other key resource. But obviously you don't farm the labour, you build that up within your station. You farm the other resources.
So you have to mine all that?
You build a mining facility, but if you have these resources within your catchment area, I think you mine them automatically. Depending on how strong your base will generate so much from the resources around it. And then of course the cards will give you boosts to all of that. And then you'll have a storage limit.
So does it depend on where you want your kind of fast?
So far, yeah. Well, I'm thinking whenever I'm building a base or a mining facility, it needs to be nearby to some of these. I'll show you now. Some of these resource nodes. So that one there, for example, is. Let me see. I own that. You can see because it's within the blue, and that's a medium crystal field. So I'm getting crystal from that.
We're familiar with that.
Yep.
Are there enemies inherent in there? You know, that try to go somewhere? Are there native enemies in an area?
So NPC.
Like NPCs? Yep.
Is that what you mean, Toll, or NPCs?
I guess. Yes.
Yeah. So
like in Starfleet, in Star Trek Fleet Command, you know, you've got the Klingons. If you're not a Klingon,
Oh, factions. Yeah, no, I don't think there's any factions. But what you do have is you'll have your factions, of course, your alliance with other players, but you'll be in a sector. So this roughly this area here is my sector. It usually displays the text, the name of them, so it's Caprica or something, Sagittaria, these kind of things.
Yep.
And each sector has its own set of alliances, has its own set of politics. You go over to this sector, that's another set, and another sector here, another set of politics. So they'll all be working within their sector. And in the center of each sector is this thing called Dyson Sphere, if I can scroll down to it. And the objective within your sector is to capture this Dyson Sphere. It gives whatever boosts or power.
And that's owned by another.
So the Foundation is the alliance that owns that. I tried to join the Foundation when I first joined the game. They were our main rivals. I didn't get much of a response from them, so I got an invite from Crimson Dawn, and they've been very quiet. So they own that Dyson Sphere, and in each sector they're all fighting over their own Dyson Spheres, and then it's all about going and capturing the neighbouring sector and taking over their Dyson Sphere, and so on until you go for galactic domination. But that can be
like capture the flag kind of thing.
Kinda, but that can be done. Your dominance can be achieved through politics. So alliances between alliances, will between clans or whatever you want to call them, guilds, forming alliances with other groups like that will allow you to attain dominance as well, because once you've got a group together and you've reached a certain stage of development, you can form like working groups with each other, and every time you capture a Dyson Sphere, I think you can add another group to that. So you don't have to join with the group that owns the Dyson Sphere. If you've captured another Dyson Sphere, you can invite their rivals, for example, into your group. And you keep growing and growing like that until eventually you dominate a sizable enough chunk of space, and you end up allying with another group of similar size or stronger, and so on, until you either bring peace to the galaxy or you destroy the galaxy. It can come down to a bit of a battle royale, you know.
Yeah.
At least that's my understanding of it.
So
But
what happens in the off season? You can't do any building, or
so I think essentially what happens there is you join another server. The server closes and you join another server. And your account retains whatever cards and that you've accrued in the meantime. At least that's my understanding. I'll know better when this season ends.
And how long's the season?
About 3 months, I think.
3 months? Okay.
so 4 servers.
It would be really nice, for example, in a game like Star Trek Fleet Command, if you had something that was seasonal like this, where you can be at war and be fighting the bit out and trying to be dominant, and be the dominant force. But then the season ends and you have a little bit of a break, and old enemies and old friends can go onto different sides and try to work at it a different way then, and you're basically forming new alliances and new groupings, and you're going at it again. Or you can rehash all of the old conflicts and have at it, you know. It's a nice idea. I like the idea that you're working towards a goal like that, that you can pat yourself on the back at the end of it and go, we won or we didn't win. The wars in Star Trek Fleet Command, for example, they can go on open-ended. Old grudges can develop and not be forgotten. And
You just beat your head against a wall, really, because if you are dominant on your server by such a margin, it'd be very difficult to overcome that.
Yep.
You're not in that alliance.
Okay, so I'm exiting Starborn. I'm gonna go into Mobile Royale. So Pep
Okay,
has...
guys. Well, I might leave you there.
No bother, Billy. Are you about for some tunes after, or is that you finished
I'll put some
completely?
stuff on. Oh no, I'll be off for an hour or two. Yeah.
No problem. Appreciate you showing up, man.
No problem. No problem at all.
Thank you, Billy.
I'll catch you in the game
And,
later
nice
on.
meeting you, Tola. Sorry, what was that?
I'll catch you in the game later on.
Yep, no worries. Okay.
Cheers.
Bye.
Morgan, don't put this comment in a video, but
Well, you know you're live.
well, live's fine. It's heard and forgotten, but I don't see how you sleep to that music. You said you were putting on music to go to sleep, but I don't.
All right, what music was it?
Oh, it's usually heavy metal.
All right.
Huh?
It's probably quite mild by comparison to some of the stuff that I have listened to, so that's probably how I can go to sleep to it.
That's how I met Pep. She had, music I was really jamming to. It was like a lot softer. Oh wow, it's so different. I told her I really liked her playlist.
Yeah, I removed one of her songs earlier. She didn't like it.
Poor Pep.
I just want to reply to Sherry Miller there. Sherry, the game's not a mobile game, it's a PC game. That's probably why you can't find it in the Play Store. And good night to Hugo.
What are you loading now?
So I'm loading up Mobile Royale.
Okay, that's right. So you're playing these two games now, or do you have more that you're playing?
If I have time, I'm running a little bit behind schedule what I had planned, but if I have time I might pop into Final Fantasy, do a bit of Eden. See how long this takes me.
And I have a hard time working and just playing Star Trek Fleet Command.
You should be at least logging in for 5 or 10 minutes to do some of the dailies, collect your stuff.
I do, but I can't like mine crystal or gas, that sort of thing. I get killed before.
Yeah.
Or you lose your shield, and I've got too many resources. I'm sitting on like 14 million trit right now, and a couple of million the lithium, so I don't want to lose that.
Of course.
So I don't want to like attack somebody and then have to. I'm running out of shields as well. So.
What's your alliance like? Are they active? Are they busy?
Yeah, they are. They're not as aggressive as the first one that I was in. They were kill before, but this is more of a
plenty of helps. You get to do the helps.
Yes, plenty
Okay.
of help, and they're just a really great group of people. I really enjoy them a lot.
Okay, so through the helps you should be getting rewards, alliance rewards in the dailies.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so you're building up alliance points.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you do know you can get shields then from alliance points.
Yes, but I'm also really cognizant of relocation tokens.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the shields are more important right now than the reload because I'm not going out on raiding missions.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're so helpful, and they were gonna promote me recently, and I said no, I better not right now. I was really active before, but I really can't be now.
Oh, these things happen.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get fired. Then I can play.
Okay, so for some reason this game, there we go. It wasn't loading there for a second.
And one more thing, Billy sent a message saying, support Ekon because he does your.
That's right, yeah.
And I couldn't find that.
Oh no?
No, I couldn't find a link to be able to support him. So.
Okay, I'll send you something on Discord later.
Okay.
Or if anybody's listening that's on Discord that has a link to Econ's channel, then feel free to post it. So while that's loading up, I'm going to go and make some more tea. So that I have something to drink while we're talking.
I'm still working on margarita.
Lovely. Okay, back in a couple of moments.
Hello.
Hello. Who is this?
Hello.
Hey, Morgan.
So I'm back, and I have this game ready to go. Get it up now. Okay, so this is a mobile Royale. So just to let you know, Toller, and anybody that's listening, I've had a little bit of trouble with this game. Hello? I'm getting a bit of feedback there, guys. If this audio's coming out okay, let me know. If it's not,
Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you, Pep. Yeah, I can get a wee bit of feedback there.
I hope you don't hear my air conditioner.
I don't think I can pick up the air conditioner. Okay, so Pep will join us in a couple of moments maybe. And just to explain to people, anybody that's listening, I've had a little bit of trouble with this.
There's a really bad delay on this mic.
Okay, well sure, we'll work away with that as much as we can. So I've had a little bit of trouble on this game with my base being moved. I got back into my Alliance Forsaken Knights, so as soon as we have Pep ready to go, I'm gonna get her to talk me through some of the stuff that I'm not doing right in this game, because she's been playing it way longer than me. And if you're watching as well, Toller, feel free to ask any questions.
Okay.
So it's a pretty enough looking game. And just for the purposes of the recording, I'm gonna probably make a video in segments out of this live stream, so that people don't have to watch the full thing back to see the different bits and pieces of the game. So I've had a lot of interest in one or two videos I've done on this. So I'm gonna make a segment just out of this. So I'm gonna just do a wee voiceover on that once Pep is ready. Have we any luck? Okay, so Sherry's saying there's an echo coming through the female. There's two females, there's Pep and Toller. I don't know which has the echo. Okay, there's a maintenance coming up. So this is where I'm based at the moment. This is where they moved me to. It's right beside this group called CT. I've discovered one of the things to do here is take over these little villages, and it gives you a boost. There's an EXP village. Okay, so Toller, we had a bit of an echo there. Sherry saying we had a bit of an echo when you were talking about the air conditioner.
I saw that, and there is like a 5-second delay.
Sure, we'll make do with what we've got. I'm gonna rattle on here with this in a wee minute if Pep doesn't join us. Okay, so just give me a wee minute, Toller, and I'm going to do a wee voiceover, and then when I mention yourself and Pep coming into the game, you're free to say hello and ask questions. Is that alright?
Sure. I can be quiet.
Just for a minute. So guys, we're back into Mobile Royale. I've gotten back into Forsaken Knights. They've been kind enough to let me back in. I'm their lowest member, but they're a cool enough bunch of guys. And of course Pep, who might join us in a wee while, is in this alliance as well. I've submitted a ticket to support, and anybody who watched the last video will have seen that I've sent them a link to the video, and I'm asking them to return me back to the location that I was at, and perhaps refund the resources that I lost. The reason given was that I was inactive, and I wasn't inactive for that long. But at least we're back in Forsaken Knights. These are a tough enough bunch of guys. Not much is going to happen to me with these guys looking out for me. And see here, sorry guys for flicking through all of this so quickly. 486k. There's a nice way that you can tell who's online. There's a nice wee touch. Other games could learn from this. And we'll see from this that I'm right at the bottom. Unless somebody new has joined in the meantime. There we go, right at the bottom, significantly behind everybody else. But we'll climb up these ranks and up these levels as we go along. And we'll make do with where we're at here until I hear back from support. And once again, there's lots of things that we can collect out of this, and I have Toller, who is a moderator on my Discord along with me. You want to say hi, Toller?
Hello.
So Toller doesn't play this game, so we're maybe going to convince her that this is an option, but you're very busy right now, I take it, with work. So a second mobile game's probably not an option. I'll do my collecting of all my dailies here, guys. I've learned a couple of new things in the game. These wee villages, very interesting wee thing. I can take over this village and get a bonus. There are other villages of different types I can take over. Once I have 2, I'll get a boost. I had 2 last night. I think they've been taken off me. Let's see if we can see 1 or 2 others here. Trader village.
Well, I'm back. I've freed myself up.
Welcome back, Billy. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So we're looking at Mobile Royale here, Billy. I was explaining there just that I've learned that one of the things that'll give you boosts within the game is by taking over these little villages. These are up for grabs, and you can grab one of them. I've had a little bit of trouble with support. They moved my base on me for reasons of being inactive when I wasn't that inactive.
I remember Scopely used to do that as well.
Just randomly move a base without levels of inactivity.
And they don't realize that you're a YouTube star, Amorgin?
Sorry?
They don't realize that they moved and a YouTube star?
I don't think they've realised. No, I think there'll be somebody with who'll have to answer to the CEO when they realise that they've done this.
You need to let them know.
Yeah. So I've learned about these stone carts, abandoned stone carts, and presumably different resources pop up on the map, and you can go and basically raid them, a one-time raid. You can take over little villages. I wonder... There's no occupiers, so that's a trader village, so... I'll take that over. That's level 2. I can't do that. Need a level 1. And there's these monsters on the map, I can attack these. Get a variety of different little odds and ends from them when you do that. So I'm going to attack one of these guys. An icy crawler, I haven't done these before. Select my army, who I want to send. So we now have 6 heroes. I can use any combination of 4 of these. And then standard units. And that'll take 1 minute 30 seconds to attack that boss. Now I haven't the hope of killing him, but I will get something out of him. And then while we're waiting on that to happen, we'll go in to the guild gifts. Lots of guild gifts. Some of these are from people attacking these monsters and killing them, like I'm after showing. Lots and lots of these every day to go in and collect when you have an active alliance, active guild. Too many to be sitting spending time paying attention to them. You'll be all day just reading through it. Certainly for a low level newbie like me, this is all very, very useful. Guild helps, of course.
What's that line, Morgan? When they show the...
That's the travel route of my army.
Okay. And then is that your wall, or are you invading that wall?
So I've just hit a monster on the map. And we load up the battle now. So that's the army that I sent with the heroes that I sent. They're going to attack this monster. So there's a nice wee feature there, is just once the battle has happened, you can go and you can look at this animated replay. Again, other games, we'll not just mention right now, but other games could learn something from this. It would certainly be a nice wee touch there to be able to go and look at a nice animated space battle, for example.
Chopping down leg by leg.
Well, I wouldn't have a hope of winning these battles, but you'll see now in a second. You might have noticed before I went into it. You'll see now in a minute what I get even from that, what, 8-10% damage? Not even.
He just trumps on your guys.
Yep. You see there?
Yeah.
So
That horse is very nice.
Sorry?
That horse is very nice, though.
Yeah, and it's a nice looking game, I think. And a nice transition in here, I've mentioned before, into your castle when it goes in. And plenty going on here. And build units. Quite low level units yet, but quite happily build anything I can get.
What level is your castle?
Oh, so Pep has joined us, so my castle is level 8.
Okay, good.
You're very welcome, Pep.
Thank you.
You got your audio sorted out?
Yeah, about time.
Hello, Pep.
Hello.
So I'm just showing the guys, Pep, how this works. I'm no expert in it. You can explain a little bit more. Are you watching the stream? Have you...
Yes.
You have eyes on
I
it?
know I'm on.
Okay, so you can see what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So so far I've been logging in and just setting these researches and things.
Yeah.
So we need Siege Tower leveled up. So we might speed that up, will I?
Yeah.
So its handy function there is the multiple speed ups. It'll calculate automatically a combination of your speed ups to bring it exactly to the free speed up, which is almost 13 minutes for me, and through research I'm able to raise that so we can get it at 14 minutes presumably, and so on.
Yeah.
So there's plenty to collect in this game, isn't there?
There is, yes. And go into your bag. Down bottom left.
1 second. Okay.
But open up that chest as well at the top. Go into chest.
Okay. Use.
No, up. Now make sure and open them.
Use all of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Is it not worth hanging on to some of them? No?
No. You're not going to lose any of it.
Okay, so
He's
I
a
might...
miser. We've learned that from the other games. He's a miser.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I can do that. I can do that in my own time there, rather than sitting clicking on that.
Go into your smithy.
And the smithy is where now exactly?
I'm on down. No.
Do you get a lot more rewards on this game?
Seems to be quite a few rewards, alright. So where's the smithy, Pep?
No, back. Other way. Not up that way.
Down here?
No. Way back. On the grass area. Not in the castle.
Okay.
Have you got a smithy?
I have King's Glory. I have a manor. And then these
There's your
kind of...
smithy, number 5.
Number 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No, sorry. No, it's level 5. Never mind. See the one with the sleep? Yeah, this one. Go into Forge.
Forge?
Yeah, no, out of there.
Okay. I think I'm following you. So I unlock all of these materials of various rarities, and then I can forge stuff out of that.
Yeah, you need equipment on your hero. Your hero doesn't have any equipment on.
Okay, and that should be easy enough for me to get? Should have done that at the start. Okay, so there's nothing I can forge there.
No.
So leave that for now.
Yeah, no, go click out of that, yeah. Go out of that. Click on your hero.
My main hero or any of them?
Your main hero.
Okay.
Up in top left.
So you have a lot of heroes.
A lot of heroes. So I forge a weapon for him then, yeah? Will I try and do that?
Yeah, click on the wee sword.
Any weapon?
Yeah, what
Worth.
level are you?
Level...
Yeah.
My hero or my castle level?
No, your hero. 17, I think.
About 17 or something, yeah.
Yeah, then do it that level 10.
Hold on, let's see what else is here.
So your heroes have a level, and also your things that you can use have a level?
Yeah, or quality,
Yeah.
I think. Okay, we should be able to make this. No?
Yes, which one do you prefer? No, don't click on that one. Go out of that.
There.
No, X out of it.
Oh, well, I've made that one now. Let me speed it up.
And see this one, 19 minutes forge. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. So-
Alright, speed it up.
She
Now
has a lot of
equip,
weight.
equip that on you now.
Yep.
Now do that with all them slots.
I see.
What would you do without me?
Probably be running around naked.
Amongst the cows.
Alright. Okay, so I'm getting the hang of that then. Right.
Yeah. Good.
Now, how much stronger is this actually going to make me?
A lot stronger.
Will I be able to kill the monsters? Simply by... Or will I need to
Not
level up a
really.
wee bit more?
Even, you need to train your troops. You need to keep training troops. And every time you're attacked, you lose might, so... Keep them in the sanctuary if you're offline.
Right, so that's him kitted out there now.
So you have to
Better.
keep building your might all the time?
Yes. And like, I was attacked yesterday and lost 2 million. So, it's a bit annoying.
Is that quite a bit?
It is. It's half of what I had.
Oh, hell.
Okay, so if any of the Forsaken Knights guys happen to be watching, they can maybe donate you something.
Yeah.
So you're in an alliance and they can help them?
Yeah, they can send us supplies and stuff. It's great.
So this is what you've been doing, Pep.
Yeah. Building a castle. You gonna come and join us?
Well, I don't know. I can't do anything right now. I'm driving from house to house.
You're busy.
Yeah. So are we looking at the basement of a castle? Is that what we're looking at?
That's that's the sanctuary. That's where you can send your troops and your hero. If you're offline, so that they're safe, they're shielded, they're not gonna die if you're attacked.
You have to buy that, or
No, it's there. You can choose like 12 hours, 4 hours, I think 2 hours and 1 hour, something like that. Yeah. So build something there.
I'm after getting a very funny camera angle there.
You are.
where are we looking at? Is that Sligo? Sligo? How do you say that?
Sligo.
Sligo. We're looking at from Sligo.
What has Sligo got to do with it?
It's one of the places that Pep's taught me.
Oh. Right, so what do you want me to build?
What level's your walls, castle walls and stuff?
So any of that kind of stuff is good to build?
Yeah.
Castle needs to go to level 9. Vault, farm.
So how far up do they go? What levels?
I actually don't know. Like the really high level people are usually, their castles are around 25, 26.
Are they the ones that are kind of untouchable?
Yeah, if he goes into the world map now, you can see how they change as you build. When you get to level 17, the appearance of it changes. Somebody called you Scrooge in the chat.
Right?
No, not him.
He's spending away here. It's great.
He likes to save his resources so he can do these clips. Show how things are done. I've got your back, Amorgin.
Thanks, Billy.
Scrooge.
But really, you can't spread your resources too thin, you know. Game to game.
Many years of playing these games has taught me to conserve what you can, because there'll be a time you'll need it.
Press the wee hands there, ask for help.
I like going in here and checking in there. I like the way that works. Anything that you can do, she's ready to prompt you with it.
I need you to help me kill a level 2 monster.
I don't know if I can... Oh, I can hit level 2 monsters.
Yeah.
I'm too far away from you. Are you going to warp over to me?
I'm gonna warp over to you.
You got my coordinates there?
Yeah.
Did you get them, yeah?
So go out of there and
Okay, so I'll just wait for you to arrive here for a second, so I'll be back in a moment.
Sherry, do I still have a oh,
Okay, so Sherry's saying that this is very similar to Lord's Mobile. And Taylor's saying Final Fantasy Mobile, and I would say I haven't played Lord's Mobile, but Taylor's right. I have played Final Fantasy 15 Mobile, and it's very, very similar in some of its mechanics. Bit like Star Trek Fleet Command, I was attracted to the game because of its title rather than its mechanics. And then very disappointed that it was really being used. It was the brand that was being used to exploit money out of people. It's a bit sad. Same with Star Trek, same with Final Fantasy. Very successful brands, and they're being exploited, whereas at least with this, it's not exploiting a much loved brand.
well, you know, to speak to Star Trek, and they're owned by in the States by CBS, which is a channel, a TV channel here, and they are charging for everything, even extra shows and stuff like that if you want to watch online.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I can kind of accept that with CBS, you know, because they aren't Star Trek. It's a little bit like the Beatles songs were owned by Michael Jackson or something, you know, and
yeah.
you know, if they're going to be used, you don't blame the Beatles. But with Final Fantasy, Square Enix own their own game, you know. They own the brand. It would have been them gave permission for the brand to be used, and they have a very good ethos. So quite disappointing.
Yeah.
All right, Pep. So you've arrived. You want to kill this level 2 Furnasaur?
yeah, I'm not strong enough, but I'll try.
Right. Well, I've got the stamina. Loads of stamina.
Can you zoom in any on this?
I can try.
Yeah.
Ah, better. Thank you.
Okay, so you took 2% of it. Any recommended setup in terms of an army for it?
No, like I've had that as a quest for so long and I just can't kill it. I need somebody to help me kill it.
Okay, so put a message out to Forsaken Knights and There's no way I'm gonna kill that 0.22%. I'll still get rewards for it though.
You did alright.
Plenty of EXP on them heroes.
He's whacking you with his tail. Victory?
Okay, so is there anything else I haven't done here now for today? Anything, Pep, there that I need to be doing that I'm missing? Do a couple of quests here and all, but I do that in my own time.
Yeah.
So what does it mean when it said victory?
So I guess that I got something out of it.
Okay. And you saw the same thing, huh? When you attacked?
Is she gone?
It's late. She has to work tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm here.
So this
Did you see victory when you attacked, Pep?
Sorry?
Did you get the victory message when you attacked?
Oh,
Did you get
Yes.
reward?
yes. I have to check it. Yeah, there's really good rewards in this game.
I have daily quests flashing up here, and it's... I don't see what I'm
Yeah, I think,
supposed to do.
I think it's a bug.
Alright,
Mine
okay.
doesn't see it.
Okay.
See, Andrew has wrote if it's a melee monster, try range troop.
Hmm.
Might try that.
I think that uses ranged attack as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Have you attacked another person's castle yet?
No.
What's the time in Ireland at the moment?
So it's
Half
12:30 at night.
Oh, it's only early.
Yeah.
For Morgan.
True.
What, you live on, what, 2-3 hours of sleep a night, Morgan?
No. Oh. Sometimes, on a rare occasion, I'll have to make do with that, but no. So we got a couple of decent quick upgrades there. Allowed me to do that event.
I think last week I got to sleep at about 5 a.m. in the morning.
Oh
That was
my.
Lovely. And you were up around that time to set a few tunes?
Probably. Yeah.
I've added you guys to my cities on the Weather Channel. You know, when you get your weather on your phone.
Oh
and,
yeah.
It tells the time and, you know, of course, what your weather is. But I'm like, oh, Billy, it's the middle of the night. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Or it's tomorrow already.
Well, you guys in America are just so behind us. It's no funny.
I
So
know.
slow. What,
We're
18
lagging.
hours or something?
Yeah. But we're warmer than Ireland.
True, probably.
It was 104 yesterday, Fahrenheit. Oh, I drank liters and liters and liters of water.
104, so that's about 40 degrees or 40 something Celsius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was hot. I've already got a tan, so.
Okay, so unless Pep has other instructions for me, I'm going to leave Mobile Royale for a while. I think she's gone anyway, is she?
Oh, she's gone from Discord.
Yeah, so Thaler's asking if this is PvP, and there is PvP. Alright, you can go out into the world map and attack other castles. Haven't tried any of that yet. All them guys pretty high compared to me, but Pep's level 19 there, so she'll give me a wee bit of protection maybe.
Are you in the same alliance, or
Yep.
are you all independent?
Yeah, she got me into this reasonably powerful alliance, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to say thank you to everybody that tuned into the Mobile Royale, and hope you liked following us through this bit of a stream on it. And if you're not going to join us for any of the other stuff, then I'll catch you guys again. So I'm going to load up another game here, guys, so I'll be back in a couple of moments.
So what's the next game?
So, Billy, it's already 9:30 in the morning on Monday for you.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Yeah, I got up at 6:30. I think. Yeah.
It's so amazing. You know, our differences, you know, it's incredible.
When the alarm went off, I was like, "Screw 'em, Morgan. I'm not getting up." It
That's
was like 0 degrees. Yeah.
really wow. It's only 6:30 p.m. Sunday evening where I am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have one guy in my alliance called White Wolf, and he's from Kentucky. I don't know how he got on my server, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean he would probably be either the same time zone or an hour ahead of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's probably an early adopter that got on that server.
He must have been using some kind of VPN or something like that, because we're on the Foundation server, so which was only Romania, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand. Yeah. It's strange.
Yeah. Isn't Australia exactly on the opposite side of the planet from Europe? Are you close to East?
Yep.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, by flight, I think you can fly direct from Perth, and it's about 25 hours, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Correct.
Wow.
But it takes me 5 hours or three hours to get to Perth, so it's a long way.
Yeah.
If I was going from Sydney, we go through like Dubai or Hong Kong, usually.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
And that's 12 hours from California, I think. So we're like 3 or 4 hours from there.
Yep.
Wow.
It works out well when we travel to, say, the Americas, because I went to South America a few years ago, and so I had 2 Christmases. I left Australia, had Christmas here, and then had Christmas over there. So
You just turned right around and went back?
no, I stayed a month, and then came back and lost a day. But yeah.
Holy cow. Wow.
Yeah.
Was that for work?
Yeah, so
That fast of a trip?
that was for that was a engagement, not an engagement, a honeymoon. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we went to Chile.
2 honeymoons in one.
Yeah, kind of. Yep.
So I'm back with Final
No,
Fantasy 11, guys.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So this is what's known as a private server. It's not the retail version of the game. Some very smart people have been able to provide the game on private servers that now I suppose they have a similar enough community in terms of numbers. Some of them, we command here to search for everybody. It'll give me a number. 644 people online on this server. If I went into the retail version of the game, probably a similar number. And what's happening here is that this is the original version of the game when your level was capped at 75. So in
75.
75 is the level cap on this private server. So this server essentially is capturing the old golden days of the game from about 10-12 years ago. More like 12 years ago, 12-13 years ago I suppose. Around the time when I started playing it the very first time. So it's a little bit of a nostalgia trip to play on this private server, and I thank you to all of the people that provide this service for free.
I'm gonna log off and log back on because it's like a way over a minute lag. I can hear Billy and I talking, so
No problem.
let me see if I can.
I might get you to do me a little favour before you go.
Sure.
I was going to ask Pep to do it, but she's gone, so I'm going to ask you. If you take a look through the stream chat, a couple of people answered the question, so I'm going to give them 2 minutes before you go, if that's okay, to tell me why Billy is such a good DJ, and I'll get you, Toller, to pick whoever has given the best answer to that question, and that person will get a mystery prize.
Okay.
Is that okay? So give people 2 minutes. If anybody wants to tell us why Billy's such a good DJ, then Toller's going to pick her favourite answer. A couple of people have answered already back through the chat. So you let me know, Toller, and before you go, you can tell me who that is, and that person then needs to come into Discord and send me a PM with their shipping details so we can send them a prize. Billy was suggesting a box of old used toenails.
I think you suggested that.
he was willing to provide me with some as well. But I wouldn't cheat people. I wouldn't cheat people like that and pretend that Billy's toenails were mine.
Okay, I'll be happy to do that.
Okay, so we'll give a couple of minutes. So, Sherry saying she downloaded that last game. So fair play to you, Sherry. If you happen to get into our world, give us a shout. I think we're World 11, if I'm not mistaken. Pep can correct that. And Taylor Harmer's asking what game this is. So this is Final Fantasy 11. One of many Final Fantasies that were out. There's like 15 of them that have been released with a number of spin-offs. My first love in terms of online gaming. And I'm a Galka here, and we're following in my videos the adventures of this Galka. I'm going to change my jobs because I'm going to go out and level up my level 10 job a little bit.
So, Morgan, just to be sure, I'm looking through the YouTube chat, not the Discord chat, right?
That's right.
Okay, alright.
And from among the people who turned up in the Discord earlier and listened to Billy's tunes, and anybody that is around later, if Billy's going to do a few tunes, we'll pick a random person from the Discord chat for a mystery prize as well. But the main one here is in the stream.
Okay, alright.
I'm sorry, guys, I died.
No problem. We have Toller picking her favourite answer to why Billy is such a good DJ. If you want to take a look through the chat as well and discuss that with her. If she's torn between two answers, for example.
We'll be happy to collaborate, won't we, Pep?
Yes.
So I've moved to Final Fantasy 11, Pep.
Great.
I'm going to go out and work on Monk. Oh, sorry, on Warrior. Level 10 Warrior.
Oh, I forgot to ask before. What's a Moogle?
So a Moogle, again, they exist in Final Fantasy lore. They've been a number of different varieties of the game, but in this instance, the Moogle looks after your house. Their sole purpose is to serve, but they appear everywhere. They have prizes to give away, and they have competitions and things that they'll run, kind of thing, and they'll trade stuff with you, and they appear, different types of Moogles appear all over the world, and they'll be in a stationary position. Sometimes they're there for a festival or an event, and then they'll be gone for a while, but most of the time they're in a stationary position, and you can only interact with them whenever there's something going on. But some of them, like this one, just looks after your house. He'll deal with all of the stuff. There's my menu. I can go into any of this here. This is my Moogle giving me access to all of this stuff, including I can change the style of my house, I think. We'll see now. I don't know if this is a feature in Eden or not. No, not letting me change the style of the house. But we can put in furniture. The Moogle helps me do this. I don't know if I have any furniture. I don't think I have anything. I need to put furniture into my inventory.
Do you craft furniture, or do
you can craft furniture if you wish. You can buy it. You can get it as rewards from certain quests. But crafting, there's a number of crafts in the game. Yeah. Take a look at them now. Bear with me for a second. So there's all the crafts. Fishing, woodworking, smithing, boneworking, cloth craft, leather craft, bone craft, alchemy, cooking, synergy. So I don't know if synergy's in this version. Synergy was brought in quite late on, so synergy mightn't be a thing. I would have been a goldsmither on my my retail account, but not very high. So it's essentially you pick up a craft, you go to a guild, you pick up a craft and start selling your goods if you level it up, but it can be quite expensive. You can't buy real game currency or any of that kind of stuff in this game. There's no microtransactions as such. There's a very, or always has been, and even to this day, there's a healthy black market on in-game currency that'll get you banned if you found out to be buying it.
Okay, yeah.
However, it's quite rampant and has been quite rampant. There was also a hefty economy in fake accounts and selling accounts, and what were known as guild sellers were the RMTs, the real money traders. They were very active in the game. Groups of them getting together, forming link shells, they're called here, guilds, clans. Forming entire link shells just to go out and make money to sell it. A lot of speculation that they came from third world countries or underdeveloped countries, and there were people.
Yeah, I kind of know what country you're talking about.
People exploiting them, you know.
Yep.
Because there was so much money at one time to be made from that black market. I doubt it's worth their while now, but there's still a black market involved. I've always stayed away from it. There's also lots and lots of illegal add-ons for the game. Technically, playing on a private server here is illegal. It's enough to get me banned from my retail account if it were to be identified. My retail account with this account, Square Enix could ban me. I wouldn't want that to happen, of course. But at this stage, this game's nearly 20 years old, 16, 17 years old. It's highly unlikely that Square Enix really care anymore, because a lot of the people who play this have been and continue to be customers that keep that product alive after so many years, when it has no right in the modern gaming world to be still a functional game. There are guys, fans simply, that are going around doing HD remapping of all of the maps and stuff like this. They released Final Fantasy 14 there, a number of years ago. It's kind of taken over as their main online game, MMORPG kind of game. But this is like their classic MMO. This predates World of Warcraft. Them kind of games. I think a lot of people that progressed to this game would have played a game called EverQuest, which is, I think, if I'm not wrong, it was one of the very, very first online MMOs like this. Way back.
I remember years ago there was Ultima Online and that kind of stuff.
How far back are you going?
Play that? Oh, that's about 18 years, I suppose.
Yeah.
20 years.
So that probably goes back to the same sort of era when this would have been in development.
Okay, yep.
I suspect EverQuest could be, at this stage, EverQuest could be more than 20 years old. If anybody's got Google handy or Wiki, then that's something to search for. How old is EverQuest? When did that come out? See, Thaler's mentioning Ultima Online there as well.
I think EverQuest came out in 1999.
Dark Ages.
20 years ago, yeah.
I like that idea, Thaler. Public domain, if they abandon a version of the game. The thing with this, I suppose, is that this game is still alive and well in its retail version. The player population's quite low. These private servers have a similar population, but there are people like me who will still retain their subscription cancel it for a few months, take it out again, play it for a while, and we'll go onto these private servers for a bit of nostalgia. There's been a lot of people asking for an official vanilla server, an official legacy server, but there's been no talk about it yet. A lot of speculation. There's some announcement was made. A big streamer Ninja, some of you know Ninja. Ninja played this game for a while, took a session or two at it, and took a bit of flack for it, I suppose, but brought an awful lot of attention to it as well. And I actually think he played on another private server very like this, a rival to this server called Nasomi, if I'm not mistaken. This is Eden. I have really fond memories of this game. Like, this was like I said, it was the first love. I played this game for a number of years. Like, quite high level character in the retail version and stuff. I left it then for about 5 years. Didn't go back near it, so I kind of lost. Not that I wouldn't have been maybe top tier, but I wouldn't have been among the elite, but I was in that tier below the elite, where some of the activities I would do, a little bit like I am, I suppose, in Star Trek Fleet Command. You'll be able to relate to this, Billy, in that you're not up there with the elites like Char and Phil and all them guys, but you're on that tier below the elites where you can do stuff with them.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you know, my retail characters was that kind of level, you know. And with the amount, like, there was millions of people playing this game at one time, you know, it was huge. And servers were very busy, and it was thriving at that time, and yeah, to leave it then for 5 years, you can imagine I lost a fair bit of ground, but still a lot of progress in it, so I wouldn't like to abandon it altogether. And the player base seems to be stable enough at around 400 to 600 on average on the server that I play on. So Ultima Online was 97, so it would predate EverQuest probably.
Yeah, about 2 years. Yeah. I did play it for a little bit, but back then the internet wasn't very good where I was, so it was just pointless.
So Andrew's asking... Sorry, Toller?
Sorry.
Was that still dial-up days, AOL and all that?
Yeah, would have been, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And so just to give you an idea of the demands on this, I got a new router there a couple of years ago, and loaded up this game. Kept getting an error message, couldn't figure out why the game wouldn't load. Constantly getting this message, went through all the forums, there was 1,001 fixes to it, and eventually one sounded like it was something I needed to try, but it was, to me, it was brain frying stuff about going into the router settings and messing around, you know, with the settings inside. So I done that, and I was very proud of myself. I figured out that there was a timer that was logging me out and stuff, but I realised that modern routers, the packages of data that are sent through the router for this game are so small, because it would have been active back in dial-up days and stuff like that. It would have been demanding back then, but now it's nothing. The packages of data are so small that the router was reading it as junk and clearing it every 5 minutes. The sort of very small data that you wouldn't normally have any use for, that the router will just clean itself up every so often. And I realised that it was set at 5 minutes, so the best I could do was set it to 24 hours basically to flush its cache, and that fixed my problem. That basically the data that's going through your router for this game is so small.
Yeah, so small it just picked up that you're not using it, basically.
Basically, yeah.
So it'd log you off.
Yeah, basically. So when you look at the size of this game, when you consider the size of this game and the detail in it and all of that, and how it's still a game that people pick up today, when guys like Ninja can go and stream it, you know. I don't know, was he 7, 8, 9 years of age when this game came out, you know? It makes one wonder, like, what it is that's putting the demand on these modern games, because with a bit of HD remapping, this game would be absolutely fantastic. And it's like any of these games, like people, I've lost touch with people from it, but I made friends on my retail version, people that, you know, like myself and yourself, Billy, that would have chatted about real life stuff and what's going on for people and why you value the community and so on, you know. And I suppose it's a bit sad that I've lost touch with those people, and as I've said before, that's partly why I'm recording this stuff and streaming it now, is because I'll have something in the future to look back on. If ever I lose touch with you people or anybody else that I've played with, I have this now for posterity, you know. A lot of Americans I played with on this. A lot of Yanks. Like, there's a couple of guys that I would regard as friends that I haven't spoken to in nearly 10 years now, probably. That I'd like to think that if I ever made contact with them again, that we'd just pick up where he left off. So Toller, have you got the winner?
Well, Pep and I have been working on it.
Okay.
And we think that... Pep, are you on?
I'm here, yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Andrew Brannigan.
Is it Brannigan?
Yes.
Because of his comment about Billy had the face for radio.
Yeah.
He also said that what a sexy voice. I don't know if he was talking about me or Amorgin, but anyway.
Okay, so Andrew was also asking about the Final Fantasy games relating to animated movies. There was one years ago that came out, but I think there's been another one since, Andrew. So there was Spirits Within, I think, was done years ago, but I think they made a movie out of Final Fantasy 15, Kingsglaive, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if that's a full-length movie, but Kingsglaive was one of them. So Kingsglaive, if that's what you're talking about, that directly relates to Final Fantasy 15. But Spirits Within, that is 10, 15 years old maybe at this stage, I'm not sure. Spirits Within is just basically following a similar lore. So if you've played Final Fantasy 1 through to 12, 13, they all follow very, very similar type ideas around how the world works, how things work, and you know, they always have a very nice storyline behind them and whatever else. And there's always similar characters, like Sid is a character that'll resurface in every version with a different role or a different job, but there'll always be a Sid. Nice little touch in Final Fantasy 7 was there was a Wedge and a Biggs, which is a wee tip of the hat to Star Wars. So Wedge and a Biggs appeared in a couple of places, like, but you'll always get like Moogles and things like this. Chocobos are an ever present. Different things, like you might get a Ragnarok, for example. It was a sword in one, but it was a ship in another, but the Ragnarok is an ever-present, you know, and things like this. And they tap into Nordic lore and Celtic lore and all sorts of historical stuff or legendary stuff, different cultures out there, you know, and it's very nice all together, the way to mix all of that together. So it relates to the movie relates to the Final Fantasies, but more in the sense of the theme and the feel of the game, rather than a direct storyline.
So, just to be clear, Muggles, like Harry Potter muggles.
Right.
Is that
Harry
Yeah.
Potter probably ripped that off. Okay.
J.K. Rowling? She ripped it off.
Probably.
Okay. All right. You know, just asking because
Yeah, so a Moogle is essentially your porter, your housekeeper, your storage guys. They'll hold on to things for you. They'll exchange coupons and give rewards. All of that kind of stuff.
Okay. Thank you.
There are beastmen. The goblins are beastmen. They will attack you. You get a thing called enmity in the game. There's a mechanic in the game that you get hate. You call it. The more damage you do, the more that monster will turn on you. So we could have 6 people in a party hitting this thing. But if I'm hitting it harder, it's going to be focused on me. So I'll tank. So tank is a common enough concept in these games. And he's after killing me. That's what I get for not paying attention. So I'm working on a tank job here at the minute. Dealing a lot of damage. Keeping the hate, holding the enmity. And there's all sorts of very complex formulas out there for all the different mechanics of the game. Well established at this stage. There's been so much on Wiki written about it and all of that kind of stuff. Load of fan stuff done on it. And at this stage, we're getting to that point, I suppose, in time where games like this will start to become regarded as retro games. They'll start to become, you know, the way many of us look at, say, the Sega Mega Drive or the Commodore or the Amstrad or whatever it is. We're looking at a generation that's going to be looking at these as retro. Which I think is probably along the lines of what Ninja was thinking when he streamed it.
So I'm just curious if anyone who's listening has actually played any of these games in AR. You know, with the 3D glasses. Because I know that's an option in Star Trek Fleet Command.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it'd be really cool. I just don't have those glasses.
Yeah.
You mean AR? VR or AR?
AR. Sorry, did I say the wrong thing?
Oh,
AR. Yeah, I
I
saw
haven't
that
heard of
option.
AR.
Yeah. And,
Augmented reality. Okay, yep. Alright.
yeah. I'd like to see it.
Do you mean stuff like Bridge?
Sorry?
As a Star Trek Bridge command or something like that?
The Fleet Command,
Fleet.
yeah. The Fleet Command that we play.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. There's a little thing you can click on. If it's on your phone, you just tap on that. And I've tried it just to see what, but I don't have glasses, so you actually have to have the device to be able to see, you know, the view.
Oh, okay. I'll look
I'd
into
be
that
one of those idiots sitting in my recliner, you know, moving my arms all around probably, but be way cool.
So that's just in settings, is it?
It's on the main screen, actually.
Yeah, so Taylor's saying about the augmented reality when you view your ship in Star Trek Fleet Command, you can show your ship in your living room. Interesting. Anyway, so Andrew, you need to send me a DM on Discord and let me know your shipping address for your mystery prize. Congratulations. We're going to take this party now, if Billy's happy, to Discord and play a few tunes. I'm gonna wrap it up. I've run on by about an hour longer than I thought I would. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in and engaging in the chat, and I want to thank Toller and Billy and Pep for showing up in the voice chat and engaging with everybody. And
Morgan, thank you for everything that you do. I mean, it really makes it brings another level to the games, and it's educational, and you get a feel for other community players, even though you're not on the same server.
I appreciate that, and the same applies to yourself and Billy there, of course. And particularly on my Discord there, you guys have made it quite an enjoyable place to be. You have kept it civil. Nobody's been bickering with each other or bringing their drama in, and hopefully that'll continue.
Give us time.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Come on, I want to kick someone.
So, any of you guys that have been tuning in or happen to be watching this after we wrapped it up, feel free to pop in, say hello to myself or Billy or Toller or Pep, and we'll catch all of you guys again very, very shortly. So, look after yourselves, look after each other, and I'll catch all of you guys again soon. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.